The next generation of gaming consoles is right around the corner, and I'm pretty sure most of you are confused which console to get, whether the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X. Here is everything you need to know about the next gen consoles and which console is perfect for you. Before we start, I wanted to confirm that I am in no way, shape, or form forcing you to buy a particular console. You can buy whatever console you want, that doesn't matter. But this is basically a guide to help you know which console is better fit for you. And I'm not biased towards any particular console. I will be getting both consoles. I love both Xbox and PlayStation. I grew up with the Xbox, and the PS4 was the best console that yet. And now, next generation gaming is upon us, and it's time to decide which console we will be getting. So let's get into it. To help you decide which console is the best fit for you, we will be going through the power of both individual systems, the exclusive launch window lineup games, the exclusive games coming at a later date, the backwards compatibility of both consoles, the different versions of the consoles releasing at launch, the services the companies are providing, and last but not least, the controller. So let's start off by discussing the powers of both individual systems. The Xbox Series X CPU is at 8 cores at 3.8 GHz, while the PlayStation 5 CPU is 8 cores at 3.5 GHz. Xbox Series X takes a minor edge over PlayStation 5 with 3.8 GHz. The GPU of the Xbox Series X is 12 teraflops at 1.825 GHz, and the GPU of the PlayStation 5 is 10.28 teraflops at 2.23 GHz. Both of them have a custom RDNA 2 GPU. The internal storage of the Xbox Series X is 1 terabyte, while the internal storage of the PlayStation 5 is 825 gigabytes SSD. The memory of both consoles is the same at 16 GB GDDRX, while the performance target of both consoles is also same, with both of them target 60 FPS at 4K, and it goes up to 120 FPS. Well, the Xbox does take the minor edge in power, but the PlayStation 5 SSD can be unpredictable as it's 825 gigabytes, and it can drastically decrease load times in games. Enough of the boring stuff, now let's talk about the games. The Xbox Series X launch window is not all that attractive, while the PlayStation 5's launch window is absolutely amazing. It's the best launch lineup a PlayStation console has seen ever in its history. So let's go through the Xbox Series X launch window lineup, only exclusive. So it's the medium, Crossfire X, and that's it. Because Halo Infinite got delayed, and that was a big blow for Xbox. Now let's go through the PlayStation's exclusive launch window lineup. It starts with Spider-Man Miles Morales, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, the Demon Souls remake, Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West, and Godfall. Deathloop was supposed to be in this lineup, but then it got delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, let's look at the exclusives that are coming at a later date. Now, the games coming at a later date for both consoles are not all confirmed, but I only have the confirmed list so far. There are more announcements coming soon, so we don't know what those are going to include. So the Xbox Series X games that are coming later on include Halo Infinite, Fable, Avowed, Forza Motorsport, Bright Memory Infinite, Stalker 2, Warhammer Darktide, and State of Decay 3. Now, this is an impressive list compared to Xbox Series X launch lineup, but it's not as appealing as the PlayStation exclusive list, which includes Gran Turismo, Returnal, Ghostwire Tokyo, Project Athia, Deathloop, and Destruction All Stars. We can also expect a God of War sequel and a new Last of Us game or an Uncharted game, and Guerrilla Games is developing an FPS game exclusively for the PlayStation. Now, we also know Xbox have this surprise studio called The Initiative, which is working on a big AAA game, and it has developers from all over the place, from Rocksteady, Naughty Dog, Bungie, and all that. So that game is one I'm looking forward to. Now, let's look at the backwards compatibility of both consoles. The Xbox Series X has done a far better job in backwards compatibility than the PlayStation 5 has done. The Xbox Series X is compatible all the way back to the original Xbox games. So you can pop in an original Xbox game CD and it's going to work. And it's also going to have enhanced graphics on the Series X, which is absolutely great. And this is the best move Microsoft have done this generation to one up the PlayStation 5. The PlayStation 5 does have backwards compatibility, but only on PS4 games, which is good, but it's not wow amazing. It's just PS4 games, and I was really expecting we were gonna get PS3 games on there, but unfortunately, I don't think we will. Recently, a leak from Ubisoft said that PS3, PS2, and PS1 games will not be compatible on the PlayStation 5. Let's have a look at different versions of the console releasing on launch. We will be getting two new Xboxes this holiday, which is the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S. The Xbox Series S is rumored to cost around $499, while the Xbox Series S is confirmed to cost $299. The Xbox Series S is basically a toned down version of the Series X. It has lower specs and it does not have a disk drive, so you can't play physical copies of games. You have to get all games digitally. While the PlayStation 5 also has two versions, which is the PlayStation 5 Standard Edition, which is rumored to cost around $499, and the PlayStation 5 Digital Edition, which is rumored to cost around $399. Now, both these consoles have been confirmed, but no official price tag has been given. The PS5 and the PS5 Digital Edition are the exact same thing, but the Digital Edition does not have a disc drive, and you can only get games digitally. There's no downgrade in specs or anything else. Let's talk about the services. I believe Xbox has the better services right now with Xbox Game Pass and Project xCloud. Xbox Game Pass is basically a library of 200 plus games, which you can play both on your PC and your Xbox. So basically, you have to pay a fee of $10 a month for access to over 300 third-party and first-party games, and every new first-party game Xbox Studios releases comes on this service day one, which is absolutely great. And there's also the Project X Cloud, which is basically you can play your Xbox anywhere you go. So all your games are stored on a cloud and you can access it on your smartphone, your laptop, your PC. So if you're going to your friend's house, for example, you can just take your controller and your mobile and launch Project X Cloud. It's basically you can play those games over there. Now, the PlayStation 5 services are a little different. There is PlayStation Now, which costs a lot of money. It does not give first party games at launch, and it costs $20 a month, which is hell of a lot of money, and it's nowhere near as good as Xbox Game Pass. But PlayStation has the PSVR, which is an absolutely amazing way of experiencing games. Now, I believe there is a PSVR 2 coming soon for the PlayStation 5, but we haven't heard anything about it so far. Last but not least, the controllers. The Xbox Series X controller is pretty much the same as the Xbox One controller. It has a new button called the share button, and its design is a little bit more compact, and it will probably be more comfortable for people with smaller hands than the Xbox One was. The Xbox One controller is compatible on the Series X with all games. Now, the PlayStation 5 controller has a bold new design. It is white instead of the traditional black controller. It has a new light bar and all of that, and it includes an amazing new feature called haptic feedback, which allows you to sense your games to the controller. For example, if you're playing a car game and you're driving through mud, the trigger button is going to be harder to use, so it's going to be harder to control the car in the game. The PlayStation 5 controller also has a new create button, which is replaced the share button traditionally on the PlayStation. The PS4 controllers are compatible with the PlayStation 5, but only on PS4 games. So the PS4 games that are compatible on PlayStation 5, the controller will work only on those games, not PS5 games. Is that if you're someone who enjoys playing third-party games such as Assassin's Creed, FIFA, Call of Duty, and Fortnite, then you should definitely buy the Xbox, as it has better graphics. If you're a trophy hunter and enjoy story-driven narrative games, then the PS5 is the way to go. The PS5 has an impressive lineup of diverse first-party games such as God of War, Spider-Man, Last of Us, Gran Turismo, and Uncharted. So that's it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. Please leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Let us know in the comment section below what console you do end up getting or you're planning to get.